Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time.
I've never been treated like this.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself, because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys, and I teach the good guys how to spot the bad women.
Nigga, what?
Also, if I say anything about the guys, stop taking it personal, because I don't know you. I'm just speaking in general. If you're looking for the music to the second channel and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. Today I'm going to be talking about why you should not let girls who do not deserve you doubt yourself. All right, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is a lot of you guys get in these relationships where you've won her attention, but then there's nothing that you could do to make her happy after you have won her over. So you start to look at yourself as not being good enough because she's not committing or loving you whenever you give her a title. In other words, a lot of you guys have worked hard to get a girl. Then as soon as you got the girl, she still didn't act like a girlfriend. And you started to doubt yourself, and you started to believe that maybe you didn't look good enough, that you didn't do enough, and that you didn't deserve her, which is why she's acting like she doesn't want to be with you. Well, today we're going to be talking about why you have to stop doubting yourself. Let's get to it. First, you have to stop acting a certain way and adjusting in the relationship in order to keep the relationship on track.
Are you okay?
I don't need your sympathy. That's
what one of your biggest problems is that you're actually acting. You're actually lying to yourself. See, the way you act, you're acting so the relationship is never in a confrontational way. So you spend most of the time being fake because you're trying to be the person that's not creating conflict in the relationship. So you're constantly adjusting to the relationship, which is making her believe that you're not a strong enough man. Women need leadership no matter what. When you turn around and you give her the power in the relationship, that takes away the leader in the relationship. Women already know, I'm going to do things that's going to make me feel good emotionally, but I need a man to come in my life to get me to think differently about what I'm doing. For instance, if a woman's not in a relationship, then she may blow her money on nothing but clothes, jewelry, high car notes, and she'll just drag herself in debt. But if a woman is in a relationship, then she's going to take that money and put it towards other things when she starts building with a man, like home projects, saving to go on trips. All the money that she spends would be utilized to benefit her in the future than it is when she's single. That's just an example. When a woman gets in a relationship, at some point of that relationship, she does not want to be the leader. She wants the man to be the leader. But you can't be the leader if you're not doing leadership stuff. Leaders stand their ground. Leaders are the ones that set the tone. You're not doing that. All you're doing is just adjusting yourself in every relationship so the relationship is not confrontational, but the relationship goes nowhere and she has the power. When she has the power, you'll continue to keep adjusting yourself. Once she gets sick of you being fake, she'll get rid of you. And when she gets rid of you, she's going to have no remorse to how you feel, because she feels you've been fake the entire relationship by acting like some perfect guy that doesn't exist. Next, stop trying to get her to commit in a committed relationship.
So we've come to the decision of moving in together.
What do I mean getting her to commit in a committed relationship? A lot of you guys were in relationships with women, but the whole time you're in a relationship, you're waiting for her to commit to the relationship. You waiting for her to act at least like she's enthusiastic about the relationship, like she's actually a girlfriend or like she's actually a wife. But majority of the time, you guys find yourself just being very and extremely confrontational with each other. The relationship is all about makeup and breakups, and you're depressed most of the time in a relationship. Stop and think about most of these relationships you guys have been in. You've been in these relationships and you've been depressed majority of the times in the relationship because you've been sitting back waiting on her to commit to a committed relationship when all she's doing is just killing time in a relationship, hoping that she meets somebody else. All right, it's simple as this. It's supposed to work, bro. If you're in a relationship and you're still doing the same thing that you was when you were chasing her as boyfriend and girlfriend, then the relationship is not real. Both of you are together because you don't want to be single and you're just fearing loneliness. Next, stop wasting too much time trying to figure it out. It's either works or it doesn't. That simple.
Just like that, she was gone.
Too many guys are in relationships analyzing the relationship while they in the relationship. It's almost as if you have to read a book, you have to watch YouTube videos, you got to get advice from other people to date her. Then when you're in the relationship, you got to keep getting advice on how to actually be in the relationship. No, the relationship is just supposed to work. You're not supposed to be in the middle of your relationship trying to figure out what is a girl thinking or trying to figure out how do I handle this situation? How do I handle that situation? If you have to read a book on how to date and then after you get her, you have to read a book on how to maintain a relationship, you're not supposed to be with her at all. That relationship is just supposed to work. And in modern world, that's what majority of you are doing. You're coming online and you're trying to find the answers to every step of your relationship. And it's only going to put you down one road by yourself. Simple as that. Because if it don't work, it's just not going to work. You can't force it to work. There's no tricks to make it work. The chemistry is either there or it's not. Next, let's be honest. You're depressed most of the time.
That's true. I'm doomed.
Most of the time that you're in your relationships, you are depressed. And you want to know what's the most depressing about most of these relationships? It's when they walk around in public actually acting like their relationship is good. That's the most depressing. When you and her don't want to be alone, but you know that there's no chemistry there, and then when you guys get around other people, all you're doing is just pretending to be happy or pretending that the relationship's okay. See, that's one of the biggest problems. I always say, when that happy couple comes around trying to convince everybody that they happy and they're living a perfect life, that's the most miserable family when they go home at night because they care too much about their image. And usually those are the situations where they crash and it's really a bad divorce. And the really why it's a really bad divorce and bad breakups is because they've been holding on to that animosity for a long time in a relationship. And when they finally break it off, that's long love that's been lost for a long time. They've been acting and they immediately turn into enemies. Trust me, the longer a fake relationship stays together, when they break up, they will instantly become enemies. Trust me, because he probably had the money and she had the looks, and it's gonna get ugly because both of them feel like they've been wasting their time. Next, you've been making too many excuses for her.
No, she's not a prostitute.
All right, and you've been doing that with family and friends and everything, and everybody starts questioning you. You want your relationship to look so good. You want everything to be good. And then when you start seeing red flags, you start to give a lot of her red flags excuses. That's one of the big problems that you guys have faced whenever it came to women is going to the red flags, coming to the red flags and understanding, all right, this is something that I need to think about when it comes to this girl. Maybe I don't need to be with her. But to keep you from feeling lonely and like you didn't have anybody, you gave her an excuse why to things happening. And most of the time, to be honest, you blame all the ex-boyfriends. You're gonna blame all the ex-boyfriends to why she is the way that she's at until you're the one breaking up with her. And then you're gonna understand all of those ex-boyfriends. Hell, you may even wanna meet them at that point just to see what happened. But it may come upon a relationship where you wanna meet an ex so you can see exactly what kind of crazy stuff is really going on with him. But you gotta realize, you gave her an excuses when you got to her red flags until those red flags came back and haunted you. Next, last but not least, nothing good comes from a relationship where one is not putting in the effort.
Sorry, I know what you're saying is probably important, but it's time for me to dissociate.
It's that simple. If you putting in the effort and she's not putting in the effort, and you trying to confront her for not putting in the effort, or you're trying to tell her she's not doing enough, or you're going around other people, you're telling her she's not doing enough and you feel like she's not doing enough in a relationship, it's time to go, buddy. There's only one way that this is going to end, and that's going to be misery. When you're in a relationship, both have to be willing to sacrifice something and make an effort in order for it to work. That's why I tell you guys, love is nothing but you accepting the negative traits of a person that no one else is going to accept, all right?